Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Tim. If you don't know me, I work over here at NaNoWriMo headquarters, and we are super pumped for our Creative Roots Giving Day. Do you say roots or do you say routes? I don't know. Please tell me in the chat which you prefer. But yeah, if you don't know, today we're just gathering together to kind of do some writing to really set off on this next chapter of our creative journey. We are hoping to redesign the NaNoWriMo website. It's going to be our first kind of major redesign in, I think, like in years, really. And so we're really excited about that. And things have been going amazingly because you are amazing. If you want to know a little bit more about what exactly is going on, you can check out this URL. I don't know if you can see it. Can you? Is it backwards for you guys? Maybe. This might have really backfired on me. If it is backwards, it's store.nanorimo.org/road trip. And if you do decide to check it out, you rock. Because we've actually raised $22,640 so far today, which is epic and amazing. And like I said before, you rock. So please go check that out. We have lots of amazing prizes for you today if you do decide to donate that you might receive. So if you donate $30 or more, we could all use like a little bit, like an inspiration key sometimes, a talisman, if you will. And so we would love to send you this inspiration key along with this pretty nifty NaNoWriMo keychain. I think you get that at a higher donor level, but this key is guaranteed to unlock your creativity. We've soaked it in some good vibes and a lot of creative energy, and we'll send that to you. And then also, I think if you donate $90, you get this awesome shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts we've ever done. I am so hungry for this VW bus. I wish it was mine. I wish I owned it. I wish it was real. But it's a really awesome shirt, so you should check that out too. And I think this hour, if you donate any amount, you could possibly win this incredible tote full of writing goodies, journals, bookmarks, all sorts of awesome stuff from our amazing sponsor, Obvious State. I think I'm saying that right. So yeah, donate. If you donate by like 4, I think you could get that, which is really cool. You should check it out. I think those are all the updates. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, I will get back to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today, and for watching, and for writing, and for doing all you do to support NaNoWriMo and creative writing around the world. We're so excited. We're kind of wrapping up. This is our last virtual write-in of the day. I think Mariah, when she started her first one at 9, was kind of taking you through that whole like packing process before you go on a road trip. And now we're kind of in like that coasting process. We're approaching our final destination. That just made me think of those movies. Do you remember those terrible horror movies? But yeah, in order to kind of I think I've got a few writing prompts for you to kind of, help you really coast to the end of this day just feeling like you really accomplished a lot of creative, great stuff. Cool. So our first prompt is going to be, oh yeah, prompts are in the description below. And thanks for chatting in the box. I see all y'all in there. Good to see you there. And all right, so we're gonna do this first prompt. I think it's kind of cool. So I feel like towards the end of a road trip, you get all kind of tense, and all your muscles are kind of seizing up and cramping up a little bit. You've been sitting for hours. So I kind of wanted to do something that I was calling shake it out. Which I think it would be fun if maybe we kind of actually did shake it out a little bit. So I'm going to stand up and adjust the camera. Beware of motion sickness. But yeah, maybe just do some stretches. If you're sitting down, get up, shake your arms out, stretch it up. It's all good. All right. You're feeling good? Great. I think for this writing prompt, what I wanted to challenge y'all to do was a couple things. So first, I'm going to talk through this post-it challenge, which is, oh, hello, I dropped back down. Was this post-it challenge, which I wanted to kind of talk you through. So we did this in the office, like with a couple of different things, but like, you know, sometimes there are a couple of people in the office here who just like are like good idea machines. And so they just always have a lot of plot bunnies. Sometimes you just got to kind of like empty the brain out a little bit and challenge yourself a little bit. So if you have a post-it pad somewhere near you, or even just like a regular writing pad or something like that, we're going to do a 5-minute timed writing exercise. And in that timed writing exercise, the goal is to write as many kind of like snippets of stories on as many post-its as you can. So like it could be like titles, it could be scenes, it could just be like concepts, things that are kind of like really like, getting in your head, like inspiring you, just to kind of like, and also to challenge yourself to kind of like really like come up with a bunch of different little pieces of inspiration, which I think will be fun. That's what I'm going to do. But if you do not have a post-it pad near you, or that's not something that you're interested in doing, the other challenge is to write a scene in a genre or style that you've never written before. So maybe you're not a second person, but you could try writing in second person, or maybe you don't love writing like mystery or something. But just to challenge yourself and, again, like stretch yourself a little bit, which will be fun. If you have questions, please let me know. I am looking at your comments, just making sure I'm not missing anything important. I think, it looks like maybe, all right, you guys will let me know if you're confused. So we're going to go for 5 minutes. Let me find my timer. All right, if you're ready, let's go. Got like a couple of minutes left, 2.5 minutes left. Got about 30 seconds left. Yeah. Cool, time's up. Man, I got 2 in my head. I feel like the poster challenge. All right, so let me know if you have a sentence that you'd like to share, or maybe like something you wrote on a post-it that you think is particularly cool. Please let me know. If you decided to write in a genre or a style outside of your usual one, let me know what genre or style that was. I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 post-its. That was not terrible. So I wrote a couple things. I'll share some of these with you. So this one says, story idea, or maybe, an idea for a scene or something, but learning how to cast spells in a new language. This is just a piece of dialogue. Mom, you never support any of my murders. Let's see, what are these ones? Oh, this one says dinosaurs were in space this whole time. The Museum of Terrible Ideas and how we fix them. So yeah, that's kind of fun. I feel like, who knows if we can, if I'm gonna use those for anything real, but maybe, you never know. Shook out some of my jitters. So it looks like Tiki Jane wrote 185 words, which is awesome. Tay Quartet Official wrote 199 words. Tiki Jane is going to ask their mom why she doesn't support my murders. I mean, it feels like if they love you. This is great. Oh, Sometimes Raven says that dinosaur one was basically an episode of Doctor Who. That's awesome. Which season? Was that with Matt Smith as the Doctor? Intriguing. I would like to watch that episode. Katie L. shared a sentence. She wrote, "She stared down the center of the road, the cars coming closer, the burning headlights flying over her. As the vehicles grew closer, so did the moment of her death." Dun, dun, dun. I love it. I feel like imminent death plots or scenes are so weighty. There's so much meat to them because you know that something's coming. That whole countdown thing is really interesting. I'm excited to see where that's going to go. Does she know that the moment of her death is approaching, or is it a total mystery to her? Cool. Oh, Mocha says, yeah, it was Matt Smith. I think actually now I remember that episode. Was it also the one where wasn't that the one where they were all floating around in a giant space whale or something? Am I making that up? Okay. All right. Awesome. Oh, Jennifer says that they ended up writing headlines leading up to my story. I think I figured out how the apocalypse started in it. That's awesome. How did the apocalypse start? I feel like I've written a couple apocalypses before. I feel like they usually start with viruses and disease in my stories, at least. So I would be curious to see what you decided to use to trigger your apocalypse. All right. Well, this was great. Thank you so much for trying out that post-it challenge. If you did, if you didn't or weren't able to, but you're curious about it, you should totally do it. I feel like it's interesting. It makes your brain kind of rev up a little bit. And sometimes, like I did, you get stuck halfway through because you're like, oh no, I can't write that down. But I think actually it's actually a good exercise to try to get in the habit of silencing that inner editor and just kind of taking what comes and seeing, because you never know, you might have something, you might jot something down that your inner editor might have stopped you from writing if you were thinking about it a little bit more, but then I feel like you can pick it apart and see if there's actually something there. So yeah, check it out. Cool. Okay, we're gonna go on to this next writing prompt, which is about liminal spaces. I think I called it the rest stop. So if you're not sure what a liminal space is, it's kind of this cool concept. It's basically the idea of spaces that are not designed to be permanent, right? So like kind of these um, uh, I mean, for example, like rest stops, right? Places that like aren't really designed for like where people are just passing through all the time, or even like places like airports, community spaces where just like a lot of people are filtering in and out. And I think kind of some of the mythology around liminal spaces is just that like the the fabric of reality is maybe a little thinner there, right? So like it's like places where like people and lives brush up against each other, and because that happens so much, maybe like different worlds brush up against each other. So it's kind of a cool concept. I think if I think it's actually like there is like an architectural concept of liminal spaces, which does not have this like worlds brushing brushing against each other aspect. Um, but I think it's a really cool concept. It's really interesting to kind of think about these places. And so I wanted to use it as a prompt, which was like, yeah, write about a liminal space. Um, all right, let me know if I didn't explain that well. There's a strong possibility that that's the case. I guess we could always Google liminal space, and then I could read you what that says. That was my poor attempt at a definition. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. So this says the word liminal comes from the Latin word limens, which means threshold. So I like that too. Like think of like threshold spaces, maybe. All right. So we're gonna do this. We'll go for like maybe 7 minutes. That sounds good to you. So let's do it. To it. All right. Ready? Go. All right, we got about 3 minutes left. Ah, cool. Let me know how much you wrote during that time, and if you want to share a sentence, or even just like let me know if you decided to write about a liminal space. That would be really cool. I did. I wrote about a lobby. It was kind of cool. It was interesting. I feel like it got a little bit more fantastical than maybe I thought it would. But yeah, please share some sentences and stuff. Whoa, Mocha wrote 236 words. Aaron Bolin wrote 256, which is amazing. Whoa, Katie L wrote 307 words. This is incredible. Oh, and I really appreciate, thanks to everyone who kind of jumped in with some more clarification about what a liminal space is. Sometimes Raven said they're in between points of a journey or in between this world and another, that sort of thing. Jennifer MK had pointed out that their professor had said they were kind of border spaces, with border spaces, which is cool. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, okay. Oh, whoa, Take Quartet Official wrote 270 words and just passed 2K for the day, which is incredible. Congratulations. Definitely not near 2K. Dark Deluxe was asking what everyone's genre is. I love that question. I tend to write like a lot of, I mean, the last couple NaNoWriMo novels I've written have been like kind of more like YA, almost like urban fantasy type stuff, which has been really fun. Katie L showed a sentence actually and wrote, for the final time she had seen her parents. She was never going to see them again. Their rights had been terminated. Her life was in tandem. She was officially a ward of the state. Wow. And was saying that Katie usually writes realistic fiction, which is really cool. I like that. I feel like this, like becoming a ward of the state, like that sounds like a recipe for a lot of story narrative there, which is going to be exciting. Rainbow Jar wrote, I wasn't intending to follow the prompt, but then I realized that the characters in the novel I'm working on happen to be in a hotel. I wonder if that counts as a liminal space. Yeah, I feel like it totally does. Um, like, yeah, I guess some people live in hotels. But I think it's okay if like I think it's like more of this idea of like a threshold space, maybe. So I think that's cool. I think that would totally work. I am Ronnie Dog says, "Heyo, heyo, Ronnie Dog." uh, all right. Oh, Jessica wrote 425 words, epic, and said there was not enough fake childish giggling in the world for him not to see exactly what I was feeling. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve. Oh man, I feel like I've done that fake laugh thing before to like kind of like hide. I like that. That's awesome. All right, cool. Thanks so much. We are on our last prompt, which is kind of crazy. It's already 3:30, which is totally unexpected. If you are kind of joining in on all of these Nano Road Trip festivities, make sure to hop on over to Twitter. We're using the hashtag Nano Road Trip, and we are celebrating kind of our creative journeys and wanting to learn more about yours, and also writing together and doing a little bit of a creativity jumpstart, maybe. At the same time, trying to fundraise money to redesign the NaNoWriMo website, which I think is going to be really epic. We've already gotten some amazing feedback from participants like you telling us what you want and want to see from a new NaNoWriMo website. We've got some really cool ideas. So I'm so excited to be able to hopefully get this fundraiser powered through so that we can do this. We're aiming for 2018, I think. Fingers crossed. So thank you so much already if you've been supporting. We really, really appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you. All right, this last sprint. Oh, cool. Tiki Jane brought up the hashtag nanostalgic, which I think was coined during Chris Beatty. He was the founder of this nonprofit actually, and he and Grant, who's our current executive director, did a little bit of walk down memory lane where they were kind of visiting all these different early spots in NaNoWriMo's history. They went to Chris Beatty's apartment where he first founded NaNoWriMo. They went to the old NaNoWriMo offices in downtown Oakland, which is like an old YMCA building. That's where I first came to NaNoWriMo as an intern, and it was really cool. They coined this term nano nostalgia or nanostalgic, which is just this idea of feeling some nostalgia around NaNoWriMo. I really love the idea of like coming up with new words. I feel like that's always really fun. So loving that one. We're going to go on our last sprint for the day, calling it Wish You Were Here. The prompt is to write a postcard story. So, I think we're kind of winding down on our road trip. Well, we're winding down for the live streams, the actual, all the festivities on Twitter and all those things are going throughout later in the day. But we're winding down kind of these live streams. This will be the last one for the day. And so we kind of wanted to, when you get someplace new, you kind of have maybe a little bit of nanostalgia. You want to send letters home and let people know what you're doing, what you're at. So I feel like you could take this prompt in a couple different ways. Maybe you could write a postcard in the perspective of your main character of a story that you're already working on, and what they might want to say in a postcard that they're sending back home or back to a loved one that they're not seeing, or maybe back to a mortal enemy they haven't seen in a while, which would be fun. Or even just if you want to write a quick little flash fiction story that would fit on the back of a postcard that you would send. I feel like that would be a really fun exercise if we ever were in a big room together where we pass out some postcards. We could write little I don't know, 30-word stories or something and leave them around in the neighborhood. That would be really fun to do at some point. So if that feels like something you want to do, let's go for that. All right. So, and of course, again, if these prompts are not really working for you, or the exercises aren't really working for you, and you're already working on something you really love, please go ahead and write that. So we're going to go for 5 minutes. All right, go. Got about 2.5 minutes left. Ooh. Cool. All right. If you want to share some word counts or sentences, that would be friggin' awesome. I wrote a postcard, I think, which was kind of funny. I don't know. It wasn't actually based on any characters that I'm currently writing in any longer term projects, but could be. I feel like I was into the voice of it. All right. Let's see if people wrote some stuff. I am Ronnie Dog wrote, Mom, Dad, I'm alive, and I don't have time to explain why or how. Heck, I can't even send you this card. It has bears on it. People are pretty nice here. It's surprising seeing as I'm in hell. I was not expecting that twist. That's amazing. Where does someone get postcards in hell? That's amazing. That's really, really good. Oh, Katie, I was wondering if anyone does multiple projects at a time. That's kind of an interesting question. I I have multiple projects at a time, but usually it's because like I've kind of like hit a wall on a project, so I start a new one. But like actively writing, it's not like one day I'll write one and then the next day I'll write the other. Like I feel like I have to be kind of like in a zone with a piece. But totally curious to see how you guys handle that. Take What Did Official got 212 words. Dark Deluxe Full wrote, when that next song ended, Nikolai was staring up at Adrian, and in that brief moment, everything seemed to make sense. Love it, so romantic. And Katie L wrote, I miss you. It's not been the same without you. You should have been here for the adoption. She's ours now. We were all so nervous, especially her, but we're a family now. We're official. We're forever. I love that. Such a good sentiment. It reminds me of, I was watching that Anne of Green Gables adaptation on Netflix, and there's kind of like a cool like adoption scene in there, which is nice. Awesome. Cool. Well, I think that's kind of our time here. Thank you so much for spending the last like 40 minutes or so with me, writing with me. And thank you so much for spending this time with our nonprofit, with NaNoWriMo, just really supporting creative writing and revving up your own creative momentum. I feel like it's such a valuable thing to do. and practicing that voice and that creativity and that imagination is something that's so valuable. So thank you so much for letting us do that, for letting us be part of your creative journey. And again, don't forget, if you want to find out more about what's going on today, we're going for a couple more hours. I think if you donate before 4, there's still some time there, but you could get this awesome tote from Obvious State, which is an amazing sponsor. Their stuff is really cool. And if you donate anything really today, you could be in the running for some prizes. And if you donate $30, you'll get this awesome key to creativity, which I showed you already. I think, can you see it? It's neat. They're so cool. And thank you again so much for spending time with us. Check us out on NaNoWriMo, check us out on Twitter, #NaNoRoadTrip. And also check out the URL store.nanorimo.org/road-trip. Thanks so much. Bye.